Well, there's one thing I didn't do in November, and that was get a haircut. Hello and welcome back to Shelf Centered. Please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I really appreciate it. I finally, late as usual, doing my November monthly wrap-up. Still on progress with some goals, so I want to just kind of give an update. I like doing these. They're kind of just a bit of a vlog, a little bit of a journal that I get to keep, and you indulge me for some reason. So thank you. All right, so let's get right into it. Or as some might say, jump right into it. I read 3 books in November. One of them was not Dune. Yeah, one of them was not Dune. We're almost done, and it's not Dune's fault. It's called being away. We did it. We had a trip for Thanksgiving break in the States. We have Thanksgiving, as you may or may not know. That was one of those, we went to Texas for a whole week. We flew out, flew back. All the kids got to spend time with cousins. It was great. It was a fun time, but it was also a very busy time. There was Six Flags, which is a huge amusement park. There was the Dallas Zoo. There was, it was just go, go, go. Not a whole, I knew that the trip would either be a lot of reading time or a very little bit of reading time. The reading time did happen on the flights, though, so that was nice. But also the rest of it was nice. At least I will claim that no matter what you say. So, all right. What I did read, though, was I did finish earlier in the month Dantes by T. James Kelly. This one's a bit shorter than the first one that I think I have up here. And excellently done. Great sequel. I think I've been saying the first book does a really good job of just kind of opening up this world, and this one into this like world of like there's this hell that exists, and you can sell your soul to the devil, but you can also get it back. There's a way by facing the dark trials, which is the name of this series. And then in Dantes, what's really cool is essentially our protagonist named Hannah is essentially a superhero because anyway, and we'll get into that in a review hopefully. I keep saying that, and that's everything else comes up. But so Dantes was really good though, and I could say, hell, I can't wait for the last book in the series, the trilogy, I guess I should say. Really looking forward to it. T. James Kelly is killing it with this series, and I'm not a YA hater, but it's also not what I'm like immediately going to. And this is definitely a YA series, but it's I don't know. There's a lot about this. I think this main character that has been forced into this kind of a mother role, even though she's a teenager, to her sister, that really makes you love her and want to root for her. The next book I did read in the month of November was The Heroes by Joe Abercrombie. I am just, every time it's so nice to get back into the first law world. And anything really that Abercrombie writes, he writes in such a way that it's so quotable. And it's I know I've talked about quotable books like Terry Pratchett or Douglas Adams, but it's a different kind of quotable, and they can be, little pithy phrases, and witty, but I just feel like they all, like almost always just say a whole lot about life, and I don't know where Abercrombie gained all this wisdom, but he does a great job of making you feel the wisdom through these quotes. I really love them. So let's see, The Heroes, so that means I've read the First Law, the trilogy, The Blade Itself, Before They're Hanged, and Last Argument of Kings. I've also read Red Country first in the I guess trilogy of standalones, if you could call them that. They are standalones though, so you can read them on their own. Red Country first because at the time I was running a blog, Only the Best Sci-Fi Fantasy, and I got that one as a review copy, so of course I just jumped into it. It's hard not to when they are nice and shiny and right in front of your face. Then just earlier, was it this year or last year? I forget where I put that, but anyway, pretty recently I read Best Served Cold, and that was excellent. And then the Heroes I've had along with Best Served Cold for so many years now that it was like, I finally I should read it. And I actually read it through the Overdrive app through my library, so it was really nice. So it's also one of those, the drawback of using the library app is that when it's ready to read, you have to read it. You can't mood read this crap. So, and then the last one, I got the 4th book in the Cradle series done, Skysworn by Will White. 4th book, you can tell I would not continue a series if I didn't absolutely love it. And the 4th may have even been the best one yet. This is an easy series to keep doing that, because every time you turn around or every new book, the world goes from this kind of little insular place where you kind of learn it's bigger, and then you kind of learn, it's really big. It's okay, actually. So we really got some good information, I felt like, in Skysworn, and I am very excited to completely wreck my TBR and just keep going, but I will not do it. So like I said, I am reading Dune, just about done. We're narrowing in, and I think I can get it done in the next week or so. So hopefully by the next update, at least, I will be saying that. And that really, I'm down to the wire here. My goal of 60 books read in the year, we're getting really close to that. I'm at 57. Literally the books that I'm currently reading, as I'm going to explain, will complete that goal. I am doing a little... This is just how it works, I think. I'm just going to own it and keep moving forward. Of course, I'm barely following my TBR. Here we go. I was supposed to be reading Reaper's Gale by now, and I am putting that off for just a little bit. I think it'll be my next read. But Ian the Reader saw in my last book haul that I had purchased Empire of Silence by Christopher Rocchio, and we're doing a buddy read. And I hadn't really done a buddy read, to be honest, before, and I've done group reads and whatnot, but not an actual buddy read. So I figured, hey, what a better time to do one than with someone I admire and enjoy his videos very much. And so I think that'll be really fun. And so I started Empire of Silence, and so far it's like a mixture between Red Rising and Dune. It does help that I'm reading Dune right now. But there are, in any book that you read, I feel like you kind of feel, you can see some characteristics in your next book regardless, but it's got a healthy amount of them, but all in a good way. Red Rising and Dune are some of my both of them were on my top 10 sci-fi books, so that tells you something. I am excited for that. Then the other one, I do not have my Kindle on me, but I am also reading Nightfall by Daniel Barrett. It's the first in the Nightmareland Chronicles. It's really good so far, about 30% in. So we're plugging away book-wise, but looks like we're going to meet the goal, maybe even go past it. But again, this is one where I was this goal, I was ahead by quite a few books at the beginning of the year, kind of preparing for knowing that I'd have some monster books in the Malazan series to end my year out. And so it's not the worst goal ever. I think I'm about to be perfect. Only thing is, I'm thinking if I can maybe try to kind of complete my goal by, that is actually technically on my TBR even, so if I could finish it with this, that'd be great, because it's a short one, should be easy enough to do there. All right, brief channel update, just because I am obsessed with this, and I'm sure nobody else is. But for the month of November, we got 2,243 views, added 47 subscribers, so we're still just continuing on. It still astounds me. I need to do something about reaching 500. I don't know. Any ideas about reaching 500 subs? What should I do? I'm game. All right. Let me know what you think. But I still can't believe it. I just and I know I started the channel going, I'm at 100 subs. I should be at 1 million by now. Because because I think that's what you think, and until you know the struggle, I don't know. It's humbling to say the least. But now, having been properly humbled, because you don't know YouTube until you actually do it. Having been properly humbled, I get it, and I'm astounded by 500 subscribers even right now. So, all right, that was for anyone who knows community. My new mug. So, I wanted to talk about some media, though, some media that I'm clearly into. I've been doing a lot of Wheel of Time videos. I've been enjoying the show quite a bit. It has its issues. I'm trying to be honest about that because it absolutely does. But I still think you have to separate the two mediums. Is the show following the books exactly? No. Is it following it even close to exactly? Not really, but kind of. I mean, I still feel like it has the feel of this world, and I think it's doing well with that. And then on top of it, there are things that I feel like it actually is doing better. And so I think that needs to be also discussed. I think some of the, the pacing issues that some of the middle books in the series got, I think that might be solved by this show, by kind of streamlining some things. I think Rosamund Pike is a wonderful Moraine. I think Daniel Henning is an excellent Lan. I think it's Nynaeve. Who plays Nynaeve? Oh man, she's so good, and I am rooting for her. And there's things in it that are definitely changed. I mean, and I think some of the criticism is warranted. Like, I just feel like there's some times where you're like, they're supposed to be country bumpkins, and I guess that doesn't hurt the story that much if they're not. But I mean, part of that story is that's how the Dragon Reborn was able to hide from the world even for so long, to be out in the middle of nowhere. But then they get into like a city like Tar Valon, and they're just like, all right, this is normal. Like, not even a whoa, what the heck? They kind of like one just like short, like at the beginning of the dialogue, kind of to go, what's going on? So I absolutely, like, there's some, and I pointed out just some of that in my videos, and I try to, and I will continue to. But overall, just because it's not following the books exactly, which it's not really possible. And I'm kind of seeing that more and more. Like, are they even going to cut out some of the the whole like Moraine and Egwene and and Elaine eventually, which we still haven't met yet, in the White Tower as novices, is accepted and all that. And I'm starting to go, is that even going to happen? I wonder. I'm curious. And so, honestly, though, as a fan of the books, it's kind of like, hey, at least the books are there, and the show is there and kind of different enough that I'm questioning pretty much everything that I read. So, and is that a terrible thing? Yeah, it is. It's a thing, and it's. I don't know if it's a terrible thing though. Anyway, also, I'm caught up on Hawkeye. The new Marvel series. I'm really liking it. Jeremy Renner, you can be questionable with him. Anyway, became a fan of his when he did The Unusuals. Anyone watch The Unusuals? It was like a crime drama show, which I usually hate because it's just the same show like every week. Oh, now let's do it in Louisiana or whatever. It's just like the same show, really. Over and over and over again. I wonder who the guy is that did the bad thing. But that's my critique on CSI and CIS and all that. But so I usually don't go for cop dramas, which it's fine. They're usually good in and of themselves. Like, one episode will be excellent. Can I watch a whole lot of it? I just can't do the same thing over and over again. It makes me crazy. But one that I really liked was called The Unusuals. It only was one season. It had like Adam Goldberg in it. It had who else? Anyway, I forget most of the people in it, but it was it was a really just quirky cop show that I really liked. Maybe that's why I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine as much as I do now. So that's one. The other one is Lock and Key. Is anyone watching this? I don't hear about this like anywhere, and maybe because you already watched it and talked about it, and I'm late to the game. But I don't care about that because I'm late to everything, okay? And this is so, like, what the heck? Like, I read the first, so I did the audiobook, so I listened to the audiobook of the first, like, kind of, I don't even know what to call it, but it's like a graphic novel. Anyway, it seemed to encompass the first season of the show, and the audiobook was excellent. And this is, oh my gosh, so good. I love the ideas of the keys and doing magical things with them and just having a blast. And then also they're very dangerous and maybe other people might want them too. Anyway, anyone else watching that? Anyone else like want to talk about it? Because I would love to. So looking forward to December, I will try. I mean, holidays are coming up. We've got a lot of things. I can't reveal what we're getting our kids until we do because it's really exciting and it's gonna blow their minds. So maybe I'll post some videos on that. But anyway, we're very excited. If you follow me on Twitter, you might be able to piece through some of my comments. But there's that. I think I'm gonna meet my goal. So that's a good thing. I'm gonna make my 60 books in the year goal, which I think is pretty good. That's average of over one a week. I mean, that's some healthy reading, okay? That's some focus on reading. I've got lots of ideas. My problem right now is that I have way more videos to film than I have time to be able to do it. And so I'm trying to figure that out and balance that. But one day, maybe I will. And when I say that, I also think that's probably never going to happen since I'm saying that. All right. Hey, that's the month of November. How's your month of November? Are you already over it? It's December now. It's time to talk December. And let's do it. All right.